everybody, welcome back to Board and Savior. Today we are looking at my top 10 favorite components in board games. So what does that mean? That means not miniature things. So if it's, like a really cool, here's a big guy who's like a dragon and it's a plastic miniature, that doesn't count. That's not going to be on this list. You're going to have to come back later, which I am going to do a top 10 board game miniatures, but we're not doing that today. Today we're doing components. So components are the other stuff that comes in a board game box. And really, this is anything and everything that is a component that's not a miniature. You're going to see a whole bunch of different things on this list. Many of them are going to be like the little token kind of things about this size, sort of what you would maybe expect, but anything is fair game here. Boards, rule books, cards, anything like that, those are all fair game. It's just whatever is the favorite component. And the key is it's just one single component from a particular game. It's not like this game is number one because it has the best components all around. No, it's what the single best components are. The actual little things. If they're good enough, they're on this list. If they're not, they're out of here. You're not going to see them around here, around these parts. So why don't we get started with a trio of honorable mentions, things that didn't make the list, but whew, they were close. First of all, Azul. You know it, you love it. These tiles are great. I mean, these are absolutely fantastic. Am I rethinking them not being on this list? Maybe a little bit because they're so good. These tiles are not maybe the thing in this list that looks the most like candy, but they're up there. These are the type of thing that you just want to put in your mouth and eat them up. And I'm not going to do it. Tempted as I am, there's a camera on, and so I am going to be strong and not put these things in my mouth. But there's a nice like bevel to all of them. There's no sharp edges. They feel smooth. They feel like little pieces of glass almost in here. Oh, Azul's tiles, honorable mention numero uno. Numero dos, these are the tiny little worms from Silk. Silk is an adorable little game with all kinds of great components, but obviously the little silkworms are the favorite. There is potentially going to be another kind of meeples thing on the actual list, and these are obviously like a unique like sculpt of meeple, kind of a unique cut of meeple. And these little guys, they just like, you can picture them like moving around the board like little slugs. And it's great. They are just like little lumpy guys, and all these colors too. These like kind of desaturated, almost, I don't know, like not quite pastel, but with that kind of vibe. Really like that. I think these are super pretty. So number 2 on the honorable menchies, it's gonna be these little silkworms. And yes, I am regretting dumping them all out as I did, because now I've got to do this thing. There needs to be a tool, someone get on this, a tool for quickly picking up, like a grabber that grabs, you squeeze something up top and there's like a thing that grabs all of the components up, because that would save me a lot of time, I'll tell you. And then this last one isn't on the list because, for a couple reasons. It's not really a part of the board game, and it comes along with a very expensive unnecessary purchase. But this is the magnetic opener that comes with Too Many Bones. So you use the Too Many Bones trove chest. So when you take off the incredible front of the trove chest, you have all of these drawers, but there's no way to get into those drawers. There's no little hole that you can pull them out. That's why you've got this thing. You get it in your hand like this, you stick it up against the drawer, and then, ooh, the drawer slides out so nice and smooth. This maybe would be like the number one just nicest thing in board game component land, but because of the caveats of like, it doesn't come with the board game, it's not a part of the game, anything like that, I wanted to keep it off the main list. But it's got such a nice weight to it, and the feeling of, ooh, taking those drawers out, oh, it is an absolute delight. So with that, we are now ready to move on to number 10, and I have a lot of things over here, so I gotta find it. that, and I swear I set the thing down right there. That's weird. Number 10, Catacombs Gelatinous Cube. You just heard it, because I just said it in post. It is the Gelatinous Cube from Catacombs. This thing is really on the list for the sheer goofiness of it. You are seeing over my face right now, all the rest of the pieces in Catacombs are these discs. Catacombs is a little dexterity flicking game where you're flicking various discs and trying to do damage to things, and people are killing. It's a fantasy game where there's flicking, and it's a very fun time. It's a very silly, funny game, and the Gelatinous Cube is maybe the goofiest aspect of it. It is a non-disc that you flick around like the discs, and you are actually trying to flick it over to various different faces that it shows on the top, because it is a cube after all. And all these faces have different effects. They have different abilities that will gobble up other fighters or do different types of damage. And it's very silly, but it's a good chunky piece, and when you're playing with the Gelatinous Cube, it definitely stands out on a board of all other little discs, and it's very in the spirit of Catacombs. It embodies the goofy vibes of the game. So Gelatinous Cube from Catacombs. Number 10. Number 9. Earth. Little wooden knobbies. That is right. Number 9 is the little knobbies from Earth. These delightful wooden pieces stand head and shoulders above many, many other wooden pieces because these are stackable. When you let me stack something, I'm sorry. I'm gonna like it. We'll see if there's any other stackable components on this list. It's just the 3D element, when things pop up off the board, it really makes you notice it, I feel like, from across a crowded convention hall or a board gaming shop, anything like that. It just stands out better than flat components, boards and cards and that sort of thing. You take notice. The game demands, look at me. And I say, I would love to. You are beautiful. And that's why this is on the list. They feel really good. They've got a good, nice wooden click-ca-clack, and that doesn't hurt either. I think there's quite a few wooden components on this particular list. Not a ton of plastic, as the Earth will thank me for. I love these. These things are so great. I am feeling just a wee bit parched, so just give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab a drink. Number 8. Inish. Location boards. Did you happen to see where those knobbies went? Just leave it in the comments or something. I must have taken them with me or something. I don't know. Regardless, we are to number 8. You've already seen it revealed, so I'll just pull this bag, get rid of it. Who needs it? And we'll shift this over here for the view of beauty. These are the location boards in Inish. I got a comment on one of my videos saying that I've been saying Innis, and it's supposed to be Inish. And so, for at least a little while, I will say Inish. Hopefully I can remember for the rest of my life, but I don't hold me to it, because there's a lot up here, and like some things need to. Regardless, these are the lovely location boards from Inish. They are on this list for a few reasons. First of all, just look at the artwork on them. Just incredible. Honestly, all of these are worthwhile as like put up on the wall landscape artworks. They're beautiful. They're like Bob Ross, gorgeous. And then, as if that weren't enough, they slot together and create the weirdest. They look like, I mean, obviously the whole point of it is that they look like they shouldn't fit together, and yet they do. And it is so satisfying to slot these things together, to add new locations to the board that fit together in these weird, jagged puzzle piece ways. I obviously love Innis. Check out my top 10 favorite games of all time to find out how much I love it. But this is one of the things that like pushes it over the edge for me. The artwork and then the weird puzzle piece nature of these things. And they stick together pretty dang well. Like a lot of the regular hex pieces, you'll set up the board, and then if you like bump one, it ruins everything. And that is not the case here. That's not going to happen. You can bump them a little bit and they're going to stay together because of those jagged edges that kind of hold them together like puzzle pieces. So Inish location boards, number 8. Number 7, Nemesis, noise tokens. All right, looks like someone tied a string to this one, but whatever. It's a weird household over here. These are the Nemesis noise counters, and now they're on the floor. Well, that's someone else's problem. It's my problem, just later me. These are little yellow translucent tokens that also, like many of the other things that are on this list, look like little candies. These look like little hard candies, and yeah, I want to put them in my mouth. What is that? What is that as like a design strategy? Because multiple things on this list are things that I want to eat. Is that actually, let's for 1 second, is there something to that? If you make your board game components look like something that people want to eat, will your board game do better? Because this is a super popular game, and I'm about to talk about one in a second that is another super popular game with components that people want to eat. There's something there. Regardless, these little noise tokens, not only are they beautiful, but listen to this. They make noise. So they're thematic as well. That's definitely why they're on the list. They just feel great. They've got, like the Earth Knobbies, they've got a great clicky-clacky sound, which I cannot overstate the importance of sound in board games. For that one, I was talking about the importance of verticality coming off the board. Sound is another huge component of wanting to play with something. And these have that in spades. They look great. I'm sure they taste great, and they sound great too. So the Nemesis noise tokens are the number 7. And just a fun fact, this little bag is the Nemesis bag. All the other ones are just like generic component bags, but Nemesis actually comes with a bag, and so I thought it would be so cute and funny to put them into this bag. So that's pretty great. Nemesis noise markers over there, and number 6 is, I think that's this guy right here. And the Nemesis bag is gone. So what's going on with that, huh? Number 6. Wingspan, not the eggs. All right, friends, here we are at number 6. And let me just ask whoever's taking these, because obviously someone, just ask next time, okay? Just ask. I'll give it to you. Just be nice. Anyway, we are to Wingspan, and we are not talking about the eggs. I know you thought we were gonna. I know you did, but as great as these eggs are, I think there's something in Wingspan that is just a little bit better. And these were the other thing that I was talking about that are candy-like that you want to eat. These are really great. But let's talk about something that I've never seen before. I have never before seen a rule book that is as luxurious as this one. And let's get this out of here, because it's in the way. Trash. The Wingspan rulebook. And I think I'm saying this to be a little bit controversial. The eggs might be actually a better thing to be on this list. But this rulebook is really great. This is a super well-made rulebook in terms of the feeling of it. I don't even know what this texture is. It's like a fabric almost. It's like a linen. It feels so great in the hands, and it feels different. The cover feels different than the pages inside. The cover is like a little bit of a thicker, kind of plasticky feeling, and then inside, these pages are, they're like soft. They're actually like soft to the touch. And I've just never went through a rule book like this. This is the thing that convinces my brain that Wingspan is a deluxe product. The trays are great. The eggs are great. All the components in Wingspan are really probably second to maybe none. But it is the rulebook itself that convinces me that the whole package is a deluxe experience. Because how many games have you played where the components are great and then the rulebook is just like crappy, printed, like low quality, thin pages, or overly like plasticky? This rulebook tells me that Wingspan is great, and there's nothing else that I can say about it. Love this rulebook, love the eggs too. Maybe the eggs are a better choice, but this rulebook is really what seals the deal for me. Number 5, Root Meeples. You just heard it. Number 5 are the Root Meeples? Are we calling these meeples? I guess they're meeples, right? A meeple is just a wooden thing that is a shape of a guy, right? That's how you define meeple. Anyway, these are the different factions in Root. This is just the base game factions, but truly, the base game factions are so good that it makes me want to buy the expansion factions just to have more little meeples that are this great. The different colors, the different silhouettes of them, they tell you instantly who is in which space on the board. It is, you just at a glance, you know exactly what's going on. I really think that Root is kind of a masterclass in doing a lot with a little. It is such, I mean, look at this. It is such a small box for what is packed inside. There is no air in the box. Really a great production, and these are the crowning jewel. And if I had to pick one of these to be my favorite, it's got to be the little kitty cats, right? Got to be the marquee. Even though they're not my favorite faction, go watch my me playing Root for the first time video to find out what my favorite faction is. Ooh, that's a promo, that's a plug. And when someone plugs something, the nice thing to do is to watch it, right? That's the rule of the internet. Anyway, I think for my money, these are the best meeples in board gaming. And if you want to call me a liar, do so in the comments. Engage with this video. Please, I'm begging you. The channel needs your help. Regardless, best meeples in board gaming. Please let me know. Can I have these? Yes, you can. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. That is all that I ask for, is for... I'm going to move on to the next one. Number 4, Takenoko Bamboo Pieces. That's right, we are back with a similar vibe to the Earth Nobbies, but slightly different. These are the bamboo shoots from Takenoko, and I recognize that there is a connection, a shared DNA with the knobs from Earth, but these are better. There is something about, I mean, just look at that. Sorry, I'm bungling this so bad. There's just like there's like a wiggliness. You're not supposed to flick them like that. That's the reason they're falling over. They're not poorly made. I'm just a moron. These are so great. Those stack on top of each other and it feels amazing. These stack on top of each other and then get eaten by a panda. Are you kidding me? This is, I think, people talk about Catan. People talk about Ticket to Ride. People talk about, this is my favorite gateway game to get new people into the hobby. Yes, it's a little more complicated than some of those other games, but they can handle it. They're going to be fine. The irrigation rules, it's a little weird, but they got it. If they can get this, they're in. And they're going to want to get this because they want to grow the bamboo. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. They want to grow it. They want to eat it. They want to touch this stuff. And I want to touch this stuff. This entire time, I have not been able to stop myself from playing with these, from stacking these. It feels so good. Oh my gosh. And it's 3 colors, and the colors are nice. The yellow could be a little bit more desaturated, in my opinion, if I'm being honest with you. So, Takenoko, little bamboo pieces, just great. Really just great.
Number 3, Scythe. Player boards.
Okay, I know what everyone's thinking. Didn't I make a YouTube short about how the Scythe board game is a little bit overrated? I did. And if you didn't see that, because people who watch shorts and people who watch long-form videos are different, that's fine. I don't really watch shorts either, if I'm being honest. I don't know if I'm going to do them as frequently as I have been, because I like long-form better. Is that what you asked for? Is this conversation what you wanted right now? It's not, so we're going to move on. Regardless, number 3 is the player board from Scythe. The player boards in this game are the best player boards in board gaming. Okay. I just said that about the root meeples, how they're the best meeples in board gaming. These are the best player boards. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments what is better than this. The different shapes on this board, the little octagon here, you slot something into the octagon and it fits, fits so good. You slot in the little rectangles, you slot in the cubes. Why does it feel so good to do that? To have something sliding across the board and then to sink, to click into place. It is a chef's kiss on a hot summer day. I don't know if I want that, actually, a wet kiss from an Italian chef on a hot summer's day. That may be something that I actually don't want. But what I do want is to have Scythe player boards be everything in my life. I want like my toothbrush to perfectly like slot into place. The toothpaste goes right next to it, clicks in. I don't know why it's all tooth hygiene related stuff, but call your dentist. Let them know how you're doing on this day. Even if it's nowhere near your appointment, just call them and say, hey, I'm doing well. And they're going to be so happy to hear that. Whew, we are getting off track. Scythe player boards are great. They feel so good to slot things in. The pieces themselves also good, but the player boards are what makes this thing sing. And these are not the only like 2-layer boards that I have in my collection, but I really think that these are the most satisfying. Let me know if you think that there is a player board that is more satisfying than this, because I probably want to play that game, honestly. I don't love Scythe that much, and these player boards are maybe enough for me to keep it in my collection forever. We'll see. We'll see if it's in the 2024 cull or not. Anyway, Scythe player boards. Ooh, baby, that's a yeah.
Number 2, Spirit Island. Dahan.
It's no secret round these parts that I'm partial to Spirit Island. And I am particularly partial to the Dahan. To these lovely little mushroom pieces. You might be surprised to see these so high on the list. Are these really better than the root meeples, you're thinking? Than the Takenoko bamboo? Well, I don't know. Maybe not for you, but for me, yeah, and that's what this channel is. This channel is a subjective place. I am a very opinionated, biased little boy, and that's why these are as high as they are. But they're not as high as they are because I love the game so much. That is not why these are so high. I love how these are implemented in the game more than any of the other little wood pieces that we have talked about so far. The look on the board, the feeling of them, obviously, this is incredible. The little smoothness, the mushroom shape, there's something very satisfying about all of that. But when these things get damaged, you flip them over, and then they're a little weeble wobble. They wibble and they wobble, but they won't fall down on your table, and they're because you flip them over to like show that they're damaged. And I don't know, there's something so silly and cute and goofy about these things upside down, and these represent the native tribes on Spirit Island. And so them being a silly, goofy little thing, I don't know if that's intended, but it makes the experience better for me for sure. I love these things. I don't even know if I can articulate better than I already have why I love them so much. It's because when they're upside down, they're like doofy. They're like weird little wibbly. That's why. That's why they're number 2 on the list. Are they too high? Maybe. That you might be right. But I love them, and this is where they are. I'm sticking by it. All right.
Number 1, Shogun Cube Tower.
If you know me at all, there is no question what is inside of this box. I set the number 1 slot. I typed in what it was, and then I left 2 through 10 blank because I wasn't sure yet. But number 1, I knew instantly. There's only one thing. That is this incredible. It's the Cube Tower from Shogun. Oh my word. This thing, there is a magic to it that will never be replicated. I'm sure you could replicate it, and I wish that you would try. This thing essentially is just a bad cube tower. It's just a cube tower that doesn't work right. You pour cubes in, and then not all those cubes come out. Things get stuck because inside of this, there are little platforms and ledges that cubes can get stuck on. So you take the whole battle mechanic in Shogun is you take the cubes in one region and then the region that is gonna have a fight, and you just stick them in here, and then whatever comes out, whichever more thing comes out, that's the winner of that battle. But this tower has a memory. If you lose a battle horribly, you put in 5 of your cubes and 2 of your opponents' cubes come out and only 1 of yours does. That may seem terrible for this battle, but you have to remember, 5 of your cubes went in and 1 came out. For the next battle, you've got 4 cubes locked and loaded in this tower, ready to win you the day. This thing is the most ridiculously explosive component in board gaming. Seriously. There's going to be people who own like the Dark Tower, the Return to Dark Tower board game, and that thing is really cool. I don't have that game, so that's not on this list. It probably would be. That is amazing. Also, the volcano from Fireball Island, that's on a list of someone who owns that. But this is that in my collection. The thing that you cross your fingers, you pour things in, and then you go, how is that even possible? Oh my gosh. The Cube Tower, no question, it was always going to be my number 1. Fantastic.
Help me. Someone's stealing my Kinder Surprise egg.
I threw my voice. I'm a ventriloquist. This is the last piece that I need. Nice try. How'd you know? The mugging. Kinder Surprise eggs are illegal in the US. It's too big a risk to yell about them. Damn. Well, you caught me. But I can't let you stop me. What do you need all these pieces for anyway? Something happened. In your top 20 games video, he put his plan into motion. Who? You're Ben. I'm Ben. Him. He's the anti-Ben. Neb? The prophecy. You see why I need to go back. Undo what he's begun. Go back? But you don't mean... I do. Now you know what all this was for. You can't! It's too dangerous! I have to try. Wish me luck. Well, that's all for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what components you love, and consider watching my top 20 games of all time. Bye-bye!